Today's video is in response to a number of questions I've had from parents and from a number of conversations I've been having with parents this week. And it's about a topic that I was very well versed in when B had anorexia, and that is the idea of catastrophizing. I don't actually know whether that's a proper word, but I think you'll know what I mean. So something happens, there may be an argument or a refusal to eat or wanting to do too much exercise, or I don't know, whatever it might be that's going on currently for you. And we get into an argument, there's conflict between ourselves and the person that we're caring for, that we love. And I don't know about you, but I would very often catastrophize in that my mind, my brain would make a story up, although it didn't look like that at the time. It would make a story up about their refusal to do whatever it was would lead to, and then a whole scenario would follow off from that. This would lead to that, and then that, and then that, and then that. And all of a sudden, I would be in a really low state, unable to function. My head was just on fire, it felt like. I couldn't think clearly. I was in just a state of fear, I guess, exhausted, and feeling really low and stuck. And I'm sure that this is playing out or has played out for you, and for anybody that's caring for somebody with an eating disorder. Our brain does run away with itself. And it's like being stuck in fog, that we can't see anything. We can't see clearly. Apologise for any noises that are going on. I've got the windows open. It's a warm day today. So what do we do? You know, I know that there were times that I would find I would just go into a slump myself, and I would get angry because I was exhausted, because my mind was creating all of this drama in my head. And there were times where I was able to catch myself and see what was going on, but so much of the time I wasn't able to do that. And I wonder if that's the same for you. I know certainly with clients I've been talking to that this is exactly what they experience. And I maybe a couple of years ago now, I recorded a video about a prop that I use. It's here. It's an old jam jar with sand from the beach at the bottom, and then the rest is filled up with water. And I like to use this, and I still kind of remind myself of the value of this as well. So let me just talk you through this. When we are in a clear state of mind, we seem to be able to, anything that's thrown up in front of us, we seem to be able to deal with. Our minds are free, okay? We have fresh ideas. We, often this comes about when we've been out in nature. Some people say that they have their best ideas when they're in the shower, or as they're drifting off to sleep sometimes, or when they're out walking, or when they're doing something creative. So there are so many different ways that we can help ourselves here. But this is the kind of state that is our ideal state to be in. But for so many of us, and this isn't just with eating disorders, this is with life, that we are in a state like that, okay? This shaken up state where you can't see the clear water because it's just full of the sand, all right? And we think that we solve the problem that seems to be there in front of us by looking in this direction or that direction or the other direction, or how have we solved this problem before? Okay, but what is the best thing for us to do is actually to stop a moment. And look how quickly that settles. Now, stopping, pausing, as I've said, could come when you're out in nature. It could be if you meditate. It could be when you're doing, I don't know, yoga or any exercise like that, that is there to nourish you. But so many of us, and I'm, include myself in this, will try and fix a problem from a shaken up mind. And we just get more and more bogged down. What do you see in that for you? Does that resonate for you on any level? And I wonder how you could see something different here. Metaphorically use a jam jar, or find a way to put some sand into a jam jar with water as a reminder for yourself. Because when we put the jam jar down, metaphorically, all this space appears. It may be, that actually going for a nap sometimes will do that as well. But actually it's often just by noticing that we're shaken up, that our thinking is not helping us here, that actually we need to just pause for a moment and breathe. Pause and breathe. And it gives us that gap. And in that gap, something new can rise up, can come up to the surface. And I wonder what you might see when you allow yourself to do this. And this may be the first time you've heard anything like this. But I wonder where you already see this in your life. And it could be work related or in other relationships that this relates to you. You can currently see this in action. And I wonder how, when you see this working for yourself, the quietening down, stilling the mind for a moment, the pause, that actually, who knows how that rubs off on other people. There was a time when B was ill, and I know I've written about this in our book, but there was a time when we were having an argument in the kitchen, and I remember just saying, I need some space. I'm going to go up to my bedroom, and I don't want you to follow me, because I can't guarantee that what comes out of my mouth next is going to be helpful. And at the time, B didn't like that at all, you can imagine. But I said, please give me that space. And I went up to my room and I sobbed and screamed into my pillow quietly. And by the time I came down 15, 20 minutes later, the atmosphere had changed completely. And B came up and gave me a hug. Now, I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen for you, but it gave me the space and it gave B the space for us to come together in a different way. So I hope that's helpful, or at least will trigger some new possibilities for you. Do leave comments in the comments below this video. And I look forward to hearing from you, and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.